Hi and welcome to SQE Success, your pathway to becoming an English solicitor. In this video, we'll explore 3 scenarios involving secondary party and withdrawal, a key topic in criminal law under FLK2. Let's dive in. Man A and Man B agree to commit a burglary at a warehouse. Man A plans to break in, while Man B agrees to act as a lookout. They plan to meet the following night to carry out the crime. On the day of the planned burglary, Man B changes his mind and sends Man A this message: "I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this, don't involve me." Man B does not attend the burglary, or assist Man A in any way. Man A proceeds with the burglary alone and is later arrested. The police also arrest Man B due to his earlier agreement. What is the legal position regarding Man B's criminal liability as a secondary party? A. Man B is criminally liable because he initially agreed to the plan. B. Man B is criminally liable because he did not stop Man A from committing the burglary. C. Man B is not criminally liable because he withdrew effectively before the offense was committed. D. Man B is not criminally liable because he never physically participated in the burglary. E. Man B is criminally liable unless he called the police. The best answer: C. Man B is not criminally liable because he withdrew effectively before the offense was committed. A person can avoid secondary party liability if he withdraws from the joint enterprise before the offense begins, provided that the withdrawal is clear and communicated, and he does not assist or encourage the commission of the offense. The key authority for this rule is R. against Grundy, 1977. In this scenario, Man B withdrew before any criminal act was committed. He clearly communicated that withdrawal to Man A. He took no further steps to aid or abet the burglary. This is an example of a lawful and effective withdrawal, meaning no liability arises. Scenario 2. Man A plans to burgle a warehouse and enlists Man B to act as a lookout. Man B agrees and takes up position outside the warehouse while Man A begins the burglary. During the offense, Man B becomes nervous and runs away from the scene without telling Man A. Man A completes the burglary shortly after. The next day, the police arrest both men. Man B claims he should not be liable because he withdrew from the offense before it was complete. What is the legal position regarding Man B's liability? A. Man B is not liable because he left the scene before the offense was completed. B. Man B is not liable because he changed his mind and no longer had the mens rea. C. Man B remains liable because he aided Man A and failed to withdraw from the offense. D. Man B is not liable because he did not physically enter the building. E. Man B remains liable because he was involved in the burglary. The best answer is C. Man B remains liable because he aided Man A and failed to withdraw from the offense. Man B actively assisted by acting as a lookout. This is a form of positive encouragement or aid, which is enough to make him a secondary party. Although he became nervous and ran away, he did not communicate his withdrawal to Man A or take any steps to neutralize his earlier assistance. According to case law, especially R. against Becerra, 1975, mere physical withdrawal, like running away, is not sufficient to avoid liability once the offense has started. Withdrawal must be unequivocal, communicated, and ideally involve steps to prevent or disrupt the crime, which Man B did not do. Scenario 3. Continuing with the story above. After Man B was arrested, he seeks legal advice on what he should have done differently to avoid secondary liability, given that the burglary had already started. Which of the following actions would most likely support a successful defense of withdrawal from secondary liability? A. Verbally telling Man A that he no longer wished to be involved, and making sure Man A gets the message. B. Texting Man A that he quits and then immediately running away. C. Texting Man A that he quits, waiting for a response from Man A, and then running away. D. Texting Man A that he quits, running away, and then calling the police to intervene. E. Texting Man A that he quits, attempting to persuade him to abandon the burglary, and then running away. The best answer is D. Texting Man A to quit, running away, and then calling the police to intervene. Mere physical withdrawal is not sufficient unless it is effectively communicated. Withdrawal must be unequivocal and intended to prevent or distance the aider from the offense. In option D, A, texting shows clear communication of intent to withdraw. B, running away indicates physical disengagement. C, calling the police is a positive action aimed at stopping or disrupting the offense. This is crucial. By alerting the police, man B tries to undo his prior assistance. Even though the burglary had begun, this act may sever the chain of causation between his earlier aid and the completed crime, thereby offering a potential defense. Option E is not the best answer because unless persuasion actually prevents the crime, it's likely insufficient. This table summarizes the legal principles we have walked through. In the first scenario, man B agreed to a burglary but clearly withdrew before it happened and gave no help. Since he backed out early and clearly, he is not liable. In the second, he acted as a lookout but ran away during the burglary without telling man A or trying to stop it. He is liable because fleeing mid-crime isn't enough to count as withdrawal. In the third, he asks what he should have done differently. The best option is to text to quit, leave, and call the police. This shows a clear and active effort to stop the crime, which could remove liability. Have you noticed how a slight change of fact can affect the legal outcome? That's exactly the skill the SQE tests, and mastering it is key to exam success. I published books filled with MCQs, each built with 3 variations of a legal scenario to sharpen your analysis and deepen your understanding. It is a must-read to pass SQE1. Turn your ambition into qualification. Begin your SQE journey to become an English solicitor.